Well, hello. Good to see all of you on this Rosh Hashanah Eve. It's so good to be with you. I know we're not with each other in the way that we are accustomed. Everything is a bit different this year, but I feel your presence. I know that you are watching. And what's been so amazing to me during these months of isolation and pandemic is that I have been able to connect with people from all over the country and all over the world who I know are watching tonight as well. So we are broadcasting through Facebook. We are broadcasting through YouTube. So people can find us in very different ways. And if you'd like to share information with family and friends, you are more than welcome to do that. So just a couple of notes as we begin our service this evening. You will notice that it is not highly produced. We did not hire a film crew and technicians and professional sound engineers to create our service. A matter of fact, our service is not even pre-recorded. It is me. I am here in Atlanta, Georgia, in my home actually, with the synagogue as a backdrop, our sanctuary, and Cantor Khan, who will join me on screen in a moment, is live in our sanctuary in Columbus, Georgia. Nothing is pre-recorded except tomorrow some aliyot and some readings. But what you see is what you get. There will be mistakes. I will fumble. Maybe the cantor will fumble. Who knows? I might have problems with word retrieval just like I might on the Bima. But my feeling was that Rosh Hashanah and the holiday services take place in real time. And just as I'm expecting you to be watching this evening, I felt it was important for us to be present for you as well. I know a lot of synagogues have spent a lot of money and a lot of time on creating very exquisite and grand services using professionals and voice and choirs and cantors from around the world. And tonight, it's just us. And it feels intimate, and this is the way that we wanted it to happen. And if we should lose connection, because there are often technical challenges, but if we should lose connection, just refresh the page that you're on. If it's Facebook or YouTube, refresh it. You can punch F5, come back again, and we should reappear. I'll reconnect on our end. The cantor will reconnect, and hopefully we'll be able to join each other again. Our services aren't the same. I won't be asking or requiring anyone to stand during the standing parts of the prayer. Matter of fact, if you'd like, you can grab something to drink. You can have a glass of wine during your Rosh Hashanah service if you'd like. But they are a bit casual and informal, and that's just the way we wanted them to be. So we begin our Rosh Hashanah service with a reading. One more note, some of you have been able to access the PDF pages for the Machzor. Please make sure you're able to do that and that you have access to the pages. You can see them on another screen or you can print them out, whatever works best for you. On the high holidays, each of us and all of us stand naked in front of God. We share our frailty and humanity with each other. By opening our own hearts to prayer and by standing together as community, reaching out towards one another, we support each other. By coming together to worship, even though it's virtual and even though it's different, it is as though we open our arms to one another and invite each of us into a collective embrace and into the embrace of God. As we come together over these high holidays and in this coming year of 5781, may God give us the strength to transcend our personal needs and petitions with the love and support of our community. May our prayer help draw each of us closer to one another and to the essence of who we are and to knowing God. So it now gives me great pleasure to bring back to the screen my good friend, our cantor who joins us every year. I know this is my 9th year as rabbi at Shearith Israel in Columbus, Georgia. So the cantor must have been the high holiday cantor here for over 15 years. And it is great to welcome Cantor Jack Kahn and his wife, Diana, back to our community. They are in Columbus. They live in Aventura. And this is their winter home, I guess. And we appreciate that they're here as always. Now I bring our cantor onto the screen, and it is great to see you once again, Cantor Khan.
And it's great to be back in Columbus and to be with our friends, even if we aren't here in person.
You got it. And we're excited to hear your voice once again as our service begins on page 18 with the Barchu. You are free to stand if you like or remain where you are.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamivorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai.
O Mavirio, Mevilaila, O Maladil, Ben Yom, Ben Laila, Adonai, Tzvot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam, Taminu Chaved, Baruch atah Adonai, Amari Varavi.
Amen. We continue on page 21, Introduction to the Shema. With everlasting love, you have loved your people Israel, teaching us the Torah and its mitzvot, instructing us in its laws and judgments. Therefore, O Lord our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we shall speak of your commandments and rejoice in your Torah and mitzvot, for they are our life and the length of our days. On them we will meditate day and night. May your love never depart from us. Praised are you, Lord, who loves all people, Israel. Our service continues with the Shema on page 22.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha, v'hayu torim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavcha hayom levecha. V'shirantam v'necha dibarta bam, v'shivtecha v'eitecha v'ladecha, v'aderech v'shavcha u'kamecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu lo tadafot b'neinecha, u'edavtam al zo beitecha u'visharecha.
Our service continues on page 30 with Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, L'shalom, 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 V'hamidenu, Malkeinu, L'chaim, U'L'shalom. Overos aleinu aleinu, overos aleinu, sukat shalomecha, v'tagneinu be'etzah tova, b'lefonecha, v'tagneinu be'etzah tova, b'lefonecha, v'hoshienu l'man shemecha, V'hoshienu l'man shemecha, v'agen b'adeinu v'aser me'aleinu, oyev, davar, v'cherev ra v'agon, והסר שטן, והסר שטן מלפנינו מאחרינו, ובצל כנפיך תסירנו, כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו, ומצילנו אתה. כי אל מלך חנון ורחום, חרום רחום אתה, ושמור צאתנו, צאתנו בואנו, לחיים ולשלום, מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו, עלינו סוכת שלומך, סוכת שלומך. ברוך אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו כל עמו ישראל וירושלים.
Amen. We continue on page 32. I saw that Meryl made a comment that she's able to watch this production on her smart TV. And those of you who do have YouTube, you are or smart TV, you're able to go to YouTube and find this broadcast, which makes it easy and convenient. Just look for, I think, Rabbi Brian Glusman, and this video should pop up. We continue on page 32, a translation of Hashkivenu. Help us, O God, to lie down in peace, but teach us that peace means more than quiet. Remind us that if we are to be at peace at night, we must take heed how we live by day. Grant us the peace that comes from honest dealing, so that no fear of discovery will haunt our sleep. Rid us of resentments and hatreds, which rob us of the peace we crave. Liberate us from enslaving habits, which disturb us and give us no rest. May we inflict no pain, bring no shame, and seek no profit from another's loss. May we so live that we can face the whole world with serenity. May we feel no remorse at night for what we have done during the day. May we lie down tonight in peace and awaken tomorrow to a richer and fuller life, as the cantor leads us on page 33, the Shamru, because today is also Shabbat.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי שש ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
And now we continue on the bottom of page 33, Tikkun Chodesh Shofar. Sound the shofar in the new moon at the time appointed for our new year. Its observance is a law for Israel, ordained by the God of Jacob.
Tikkun Chodesh Shofar, b'kesel yom chagenu, ki chol Yisrael hu mishpat le'Elohei Yaakov.
The cantor leads us now in the Hatzi Kaddish on page 34.
Yigdal, שמי רבה בעלמה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון וחיי דכל בישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם לעולמי עמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויפאר וירום ינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשא בריחו לילה לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירה מעלמה ויאמרו אמן.
And now we continue with the silent Amida, prayer of dedication, devotion, and quiet contemplation. You may rise if you'd like or remain where you are. We continue pages 36 through 46, the Amida. Cantor, if you don't mind leading us in Vayechulu on the top of page 48, since it is Shabbat and appropriate for this prayer.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
Now the cantor continues. leading us in the full Kaddish Shalem, page 50.
יתגדל ויקרא שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי ומלכותי, בחייכון ובחנך בישראל, בגלה וזמן קריב יאמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לעמי עמיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויתברך ונעשה, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי שברו לילה ולילה מן כל בחטא ושרתה תשבחת ונבטה תמירם בעלמא ויאמרו אמן תקבל צאתן ובתן לכל ישראל קטון ושמעי ויאמרו אמן יהי שלום הרב בן שמעיה וחיים עליו לכל ישראל ויאמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו אמן.
Thank you, Jack. We continue on page 53. This is a reading called For the Blessings. And, although it's hard to discern because life has been a bit challenging and it's hard to see through the muck and it's hard to realize all of the gifts and the beauty around us, Shabbat and especially Rosh Hashanah provide us with the opportunity to recall and recount and really remember and focus on the blessings. And tonight, God willing, we will all be dipping apples in honey or our challah in honey or raisins in our challah. And even during desperate times, even during times of adversity and challenge, we remember the sweetness. We taste the honey. We anticipate a better future where there will be a lot of sweetness. There will be a lot of opportunity where we will be together hand in hand, arm in arm, physically together. For the blessings which you lavish upon us in forest and sea, in mountain and meadow, in rain and sun, we thank you. For the blessings you implant within us, joy and peace, meditation and laughter, we are grateful to you. For the blessings of friendship and love, of family and community. For the blessings we ask of you and those we cannot ask. For the blessings you bestow upon us openly and those you give us in secret. For all these blessings, O Lord of the universe, we thank you and are grateful to you. For the blessings we recognize and those we fail to recognize. For the blessings of our tradition and of our holy days. For the blessings of return and forgiveness, of memory, of vision, and of hope. For all these blessings which surround us on every side, O Lord, hear our thanks and accept our gratitude. We now continue on page 56 with the Kiddush. If you have your Kiddush cup, I invite you to hold it in hand as the cantor now leads us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bochar banu mikol ha'am v'ramemanu mikol hashon v'kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava et yom ha'shabbat hazeh ve'yom ha'zikaron hazeh Yom Zichron Shruah Mikra B'Ava Mikra Kodesh Zecher 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 L'Tziat Mitzrayim L'Tziat Mitzrayim כי יבונו ובחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ודברך אמת וקיים לעד ברוך אתה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ מקדש השבת מלך על כל הארץ מקדש השבת מלך על כל הארץ מקדש השבת בישראל ביום הזיכרון. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. לחיים.
Amen. L'chaim Chazan. Drink it up. I think you're drinking some Manischewitz. I think we chose a very good year Manischewitz for you. Enjoy. I start with a true story. Charles Plum was a United States Naval Academy graduate. He was a jet fighter pilot in Vietnam. After 75 combat missions, his plane was destroyed by surface-to-air missile. Plum ejected and parachuted into enemy hands. He was captured, and he spent 6 years in a communist prison. He survived that ordeal, and finally, after grueling years later, when Plum and his wife were sitting at a restaurant, a man at another table came up and said, "You're Plum, right? You look very familiar. You flew jet fighters in Vietnam and you were shot down." "How in the world did you know that?" asked Plum. And the man replied, "I packed your parachute. I guess it worked." So that night, Plum couldn't sleep. He was thinking about that man. And he kept wondering what this man might have looked like in a sailor uniform. He wondered how many times he might have passed this man on the ship and maybe never even acknowledged him, maybe never said good morning or how are you. Plum was a fighter pilot, respected and revered. And this man, he was just an ordinary, lowly sailor. And now this really bothered Plum. He tossed and he turned. He couldn't stop thinking about this man. And Plum thought about this person and the many lonely hours the sailor must have spent on a long wooden table, sitting at that table in the bowels, the bottom of the ship, carefully weaving the fabric together, making sure the parachute was just right, and going to great lengths and detail because packing that parachute had to be precise. And Plum had tremendous appreciation for what this anonymous man did. So Plum became, after that incident, a motivational speaker. And he goes around the world speaking to audiences, motivating audiences, shaking people up. And he asks people to recognize who's packing their parachute. My friends, this pandemic, the coronavirus, provided us with the time to really pause and think about who has packed our parachutes in life. Who are the people who reached out to us? Who are the people who were there for us now and over the years? I'm talking about the teacher, a friend, maybe a family member, maybe a doctor, a coworker, a neighbor. Maybe it was an employer or even an employee or a classmate, who at some point made all the difference in our lives, helping us to make us who and what we are, giving us the support and the love that we needed when we needed it. The pandemic should have taught us about who and what is really important in our lives. Who are the people in our lives that pack our parachutes? And to those people, we should be indebted. And at the same time, we should ask ourselves that same question, but in reverse. Whose parachutes are we packing? Who is depending on us? Are we present for the people that need us? And how are we responding to their needs? Do we recognize when our friends or family members need something? What are we doing to be helpful? What are we doing to be supportive? How often are we reaching out to those in need? What is our role in this community and in our society? So a lot of you on Friday nights, you've had the opportunity, if you've been watching our Friday night acoustic Shabbat celebrations, we've been on air since the beginning of the pandemic. And sometimes it's been me along with my kids, and sometimes it's been my daughter, my son, but pretty consistently Bama has been present. Some of you know who Bama is. Some of you watching know who Bama is. Bama is our dog. Bama is this cute little white fluffy dog. Now, I will share something very interesting with you. You see, my 3 kids and my wife, who I think are listening in the very next room, which, by the way, this is unique for me. When I speak in Columbus, when I've been preaching during the high holidays, I can talk about my family pretty consistently because they're not there. But now I might hear from them after my sermons during these high holidays. But I will be as careful and navigate as carefully as I can. So my 3 kids and my wife, they seem to know exactly what our dog needs at all times. They look at him and he looks back with those little puppy eyes, and they know exactly when he needs a tummy rub. They know exactly when he needs his dinner or his hors d'oeuvres, which occur about an hour before his dinner, or they can tell that Bama wants his food bowls moved because he gets very scared near the dishwasher. I get kind of afraid near the dishwasher as well, but Bama doesn't want his food near the dishwasher. So his food has to be moved. But they know exactly when he needs to have his food moved. They know when he gets into bed that he needs his little blanket under him. They know everything just by looking at Bama. But I know that some of you watching can relate because I can see your comments. Some of you have dogs just like that, and you are in tune. You know exactly. You are connected. You know exactly what your dog needs and when your dog or your cat might need it. But I think the high holiday question is, and I love our dog, but do we recognize that same need in other human beings? Do we know what it is that our friends need? Can we see it in their eyes? Do we know what our parents need? Do we know when someone we love needs a hug or an I love you? Can we see it? Can we tell? Can we read them the same way that we read the dog? Can we tell when they need an I'm sorry? When they need a cuddle? Because, my friends, we are packing their parachutes and they are depending on us. So in this new year of 5781, may we recognize and honor those who packed our parachutes. And may we lead lives worthy of that support. And at the same time, may we remember that we are packing other people's parachutes as well. And others are depending on us. And in this new year of 5781, may all of us be blessed with the strength and the energy to perform that task and fulfill that mission so that we are blessed with a meaningful, fulfilling, sweet, and healthy new year. Shana Tova. Our service continues with Aleinu on page 58.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שמו חלקנו כהם וגר עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. המלכות שלך היא, ומעט נמך וכבוד, כבודתך נמלך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
And before our Mourner Kaddish this evening, we remember the following whose yortzites are being observed this week. Francis Gilman, Lillian Bunt, Harry Birnbaum, Louis Goldstein, Harry Gerson, Isaac Wolf, Jacob Silverman, Rosalie Klein Kaplan, Jake Feinberg, Annie Schwartz Avidar, and Anna Brown. May their memories be for a blessing, Zichronam Livracha, as together we now recite the Mourner's Kaddish, which is found on page 64. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra kirutei v'yamlich mahutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen, Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam leomei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechem mata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen, Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen, oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and comfort to all who are bereaved, and together let us all say amen. And now the cantor leads us in the singing of Yigdal, which is found on page 68.
Yigdal Elohim chai v'yishtabach, nimtza v'enet el metziuto, echad v'en yachid ki yichudo, ne'elam v'gam en sof le'achduto. Et lo demut haguf v'eino haguf, lo naroch elav kedushato, kadmon lechol davar asher nivra, rishon v'en reshit l'reshito, hino adon olam v'chol notzar, Yoreh gedulato malchuto, shefa nevuato netano, el anshe segulato v'tivarto, lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe od Navi, umabit et emunato, Torah temenatan le'amoel, al yad nevio neman beito,
לא יוכל לפעל ולא ימיר דעתו, לעולמים לזולתו. סופר ויודע סתרנו, מעביד לסוף דבר בקדמתו. גומל איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרשעתו. ישלח לקץ ימין משיחנו, לפדות מחכה קץ ישועתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך אתה עד שם תהילתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך אתה עד שם תהילתו.
Thank you, Cantor. We look forward to your continued singing, your beautiful voice during the holidays. And we're so glad that you and Diana are here with us celebrating. Before we conclude the service, just a reminder that we do begin services tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. At Shearith, Israel, virtually. And Tashlich, of course, is on Sunday. That is in person at Lake Oliver Marina. We will practice social distancing. We ask that everybody visit and participate wearing masks. There will be a shofar blowing. We don't blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah the first day because it's Shabbat. So the shofar is actually sounded on the second day. So we will be sounding the shofar on the second day at Lake Oliver Marina, and all are welcome. Again, we will be practicing distancing, and that will stream via live to Facebook as well. And it is so nice to be here. You know, I started the beginning of the service watching the montage, and I was feeling very emotional because I really do miss you. I miss my Shearith Israel family. I miss being next to you. I miss laughing with you. I miss shaking hands. I miss hugging. I miss our Shabbat dinners together and our Saturday morning Torah studies together. But I feel so grateful that we are able to connect virtually and that we are here for each other, and we have been here for each other, and we will continue to support one another. So this is still our month, Shearith Israel in Columbus, Georgia, for the Winton Neighborhood Network, and we are encouraged to support the network with food donations. We are asked to bring food to the pantry, so anybody that can help do that, please do so, or a monetary donation is always appreciated. And I conclude with a little prayer. I was hoping that Bama might come in and say Shana Tova to everybody. We'll see if he makes it. A year is setting behind us, and a new time awaits us, shining a new light and new blessings. I take this opportunity to offer blessings. May all be blessed with a sweet year of health, peace, opportunity, joy, abundance, and much deserved love. Shana Tova tikatevu v'techatemu, gemar chatima tova. May all be inscribed and sealed in the book of life for a wonderful year of blessing and good health. I know, there's Lori. Shana Tova, Chag Sameach, everybody. Love you. See you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.